purchase consideration in case of amalgamation of companies under corporate accounting. I am Dr. D. Srimati from Dr. Ambedkar Global Lines to Tirupati. So there are different methods of computing purchase consideration. So here 4 methods of calculation of purchase consideration. A lump sum method. Next one is net payment method. Next one is net asset or net worth method. And then ratio of exchange or intrinsic value method. Let us discuss one by one what it is. So lump sum method. As the name indicates, it is about lump sum. That means total value. There is no difference between that. So here the purchasing company may agree to pay a lump sum to the vendor company on account of purchase of its business. So here the purchasing companies, they are just agreeing how much to be payable to the vendor. Okay. So here this amount is total inclusive of all assets and liabilities which has been taken over by the purchasing company. And here it is not based on any scientific thoughts or techniques. So no need to any calculations, nothing is required. And it is an unscientific and non-mathematical method of ascertaining a purchase consideration. It is also in use actually, but they used to calculate little methods, little things as in values. So it comes under the other methods only. The next one is the net payment method. So here the agreement between the selling company and the purchasing company. So here the amount payable to the shareholders of the selling company in the form of cash, shares or debentures in the purchasing company. So we say it is about agreement between the selling company and purchasing company. So what agreement? The amount which has been payable to the shareholders of selling company. So how it should be paid? In the form of cash, shares or debentures. And here there is about a standard. So what is the consideration means? Something it should be shared. So that something should be shared in the form of shares and other securities. Okay. So it may be an aggregate of cash, shares and securities like anything which has been payable to the shareholders of transferor company. And under this net payment method, the purchase consideration is the total of shares, debentures and cash which has been payable to both equity shareholders as well as preference shareholders of transferor company. And there are certain points to be noted while ascertaining, that is calculating purchase price under the net payment method. So the first one is the assets or liabilities are taken over by the transferring company in case of amalgamation. So here at the values at which they are taken over are not relevant to compute or to calculate the purchase consideration, since the purchasing company can value the assets and liabilities of transferor company on their own, but that valuation is not relevant for the calculation of purchase consideration. So here all payments which is agreed upon should be added, whether it is for equity shareholders or to the preference shareholders. And in any liability taken over by purchasing company which is to be discharged later, that is it is not discharged now presently, but it is to be discharged later, then such amount should not be deducted or added while calculating the purchase consideration. And then when the liabilities are not taken over by the transferee company, that is the liabilities are left over in the transferor company itself, then they are neither added or deducted while computing the consideration. Then any amount which is made by the transferee company to other parties, that is third parties on behalf of transferor company, that should be ignored. And the next method is net asset method or net worth method. So the name itself we come to know it is about net assets. So here the values of assets and liabilities for the purpose of calculation of purchase consideration are those which are agreed upon between the purchase company and the vendor company. So here we are taking. So under net payment method, the purchasing company, when it takes the assets and liabilities, we are not bothered about the values on which they are taking. But under the net asset method, the values of assets and liabilities are taken into consideration for the calculation of purchase. purchase consideration. Okay, so it is to be taken and it should be agreed between the purchasing company and the vendor company on which values or what values that same should be taken. And the next one is, it is not the values at which the various assets or liabilities appear in the balance sheet of vendor company. So vendor company may have those assets and liabilities on certain values, certain amounts, but that amount is not to be taken into calculations, but it is the amount which is to be considered. Okay, it is to be considered for the calculation, means the amount which is being agreed between the purchasing company and the vendor company. Say for example, the land and building value may be 10 lakh in the books of vendor company, but the same land and buildings may be taken as either lesser than 10 lakh or more than 10 lakhs in case of calculation of purchase consideration by the purchasing company. And the next one is, here the net asset equal to, we can say easily, the agreed value of assets taken over minus, that is reduced with agreed value of liabilities taken over. So that we come to know what is the value of net asset. So here there are certain points which has been relevant to be noted. Calculation of net asset method. The first one is, if the transferee companies agrees to take over all the assets and assets of transferor company, then it would mean that is inclusive of cash and bank balance. Suppose the transferee company agrees to take all the assets or liabilities, then it is about assets or liabilities in the sense the asset is includes the cash and bank balances also. And the next thing is, the term all assets means, here again one thing we have to note, it includes cash and bank balance, but it does not include the fictitious assets. So you know what is fictitious asset is. So that is debit balance of profit and loss account, then preliminary expenses account, and then discount and other expenses on issue of shares and debentures, then advertising expenditures account. So all those are not to be included while calculation of asset for the purchase consideration. And any specific asset not taken over by transferee company should be ignored while computing the purchase price. Okay, so that should be avoided. It shouldn't be taken into account. That is, since the asset is not taken by the transferee company. And if there is any goodwill or prepaid expenses, then if it has been stated by the agreement, then it should be included. Otherwise, it should not be stated. Okay. And here the term liabilities will always signify. So all the liabilities to third parties. So what are the liabilities in the sense? It is about a trade creditors and bills payable. And here certain other liabilities also there. That is bank overdraft, tax payable, outstanding expenses. These are not part of trade liabilities. So the liabilities do not include. So the accumulated and undistributed profits. So what are this? The examples of accumulated and undistributed profits are, that is, first one is general reserve, then securities premium, then workman accident fund, then insurance fund, capital reserve, then dividend equalization fund. All these are not termed as liabilities for the calculation of purchase consideration. And the next one is the ratio of exchange or intrinsic value method. So intrinsic value method already I have studied in the valuation of shares. So here the same only we are going to see it how it is to be exchanged. So here under this method, ratio of exchange method, the net value of asset is calculated according to net asset method. So you know what is net asset method is. The agreed value of assets taken over reduced with agreed values of liabilities taken. So here that value is called net asset and that value is divided by the value of, that is, number of shares. Okay, number of shares in transferee company, which gives the total number of shares to be received by the shareholders of transferor company from the transferee company. So here the total value of net asset divided by the value in transferee company, the share value in transferee company, that should be divided, so that it come to know the number of shares which is available to the transferor company. Okay. And here when the number of shares to be received by the transferor company is known Then it is divided by the existing shares of transferor company, so that we come to know what is the ratio of shares can be find out. Okay. So here the next one is, it's an just an example for easy understanding of exchange. So in exchange of 50 shares of transferor company, the 100 shares of transferee company is available, means then every one share in the transferor company, 2 shares of transferee company is available. So in transferor company, a shareholder who is having 50 shares is going to get 100 shares in the transferee company, means the ratio of 1:2 he is going to collect it. So here this method is also known as the share of proportion method. So here the intrinsic value, that is net asset value, equal to asset available for equity shareholders divided by number of equity shares. So what is about a fractional share is? So here, as already told you, in case of amalgamation itself, so what is the fractional share is? That is when the shareholders of a transferor company having the shares in the form of stock, and when they want to exchange it to the transferee company in the form of shares, means then definitely they will get fractional values. Okay, so that fractional shares is to be paid in cash, that is to be particularly in the market value of shares. Okay, and then here it is an example for that fractional value. Say for example, the purchasing company agrees to issue 4 shares of rupees 10 each for every 3 shares of rupees 10 each of vendor company. So the purchasing companies, they are just agreeing to issue 4 shares to vendor company. So how many shares? For 3 shares in vendor company. So that for having 3 shares in vendor company, they are going to get 4 shares in purchasing company. So the total number of shares of vendor company, how much means? 10,000. Then the market price of each share of purchasing company is 15 rupees. Then find out the purchase price. So we can know the vendor company's share is, total number of share is 10,000. And they are agreeing to get 4 shares in purchasing company for every 3 shares. So the total number of shares to be issued by the transferee purchasing company to the vendor company is equal to, that is 10,000, that is divided by 3. Actually it is to be divided by 3 and then multiplied with 4. For that they are going to get 4 shares. So the values or numbers comes to 13,333.333 actually. So instead of 0.333, we are given 1 by 3. So the purchase price equal to the 13,333 multiplied with market value is 15 rupees. So that the value comes to 1,99,995. So the balance, that 0.333, that is the fractional share. So this fractional shares should be paid in an agreed value or else on the market value of share, purchasing company share. So the purchasing company's market value is 15. So in such a case, the cash value is 15. So that should be multiplied for 0.333. So that the value is 5 rupees. So the total purchase price is 2 lakhs. So we can say that here you can say how the cash is to be paid like. So in the absence of any instruction, it is presumed that the cash of fraction of share will be paid on market basis. Hope you understood the different methods of calculation of purchase consideration. Until the next, it's bye from Srimati. Thank you.